welcome to Inside. Welcome to Inside. Welcome to Rushing when we got, guess what we got? Another thunderstorm. Right at 5 o'clock. I mean, seriously, I'm going to be able to set my Sunday watch to this thing every time. It's amazing. Anyways, welcome to Sunday Dinner with Chef Joe. And today we are on our road trip and we are in London. And you're like, oh, fish and chips? Really? And I'm like, no, we're not doing fish and chips today. Even though you've seen the hair, I just had to do it. You notice I made the cameraman laugh too because the camera was bouncing up and down. Anyways, no, this is what you always expect when you come, when you go to London. And believe me, I had my share of fish and chips and all the other pub food that you get when you're in England. Like my favorite pub ale, Boddington's, which I have to tell you, getting that on draft out there when they pull that, oh, delish. But then we got all these other cool beers that we got from England today. We've got an Old Speckled Hen. We have this Wells Bombardier Glorious English. We have a Samuel Smith Nut Brown Ale. We have my wife's old-time favorite Mighty Python's Holy Grail. We have the world-famous Fuller's London Pride, which I drank a lot of also because that's kind of like their go-to beer in London. And then we have a Newcastle Brown Ale. And so we have all these. And then what we love to do in this house is we love to go to the beer or liquor store and get like 6, when you can mix and match. And so this is going to be our tasting tonight, and we're all going to get to try all these different beers in our house. So now that I've had some fish and chips, let's go on in and start making what I'm really going to do. So, even of all the food that we had in England, the best food that we can remember and that my family can remember when we were in England was we were staying in the Lebanese community neighborhood of London. And so we had all these wonderful smells that every time we walked down the street. And so we kept saying, before we leave, we have to make sure we have we got to find out where the best place to have Lebanese food is. So we go and we get this Lebanese food. Oh, so our concierge at the hotel tells us about this place. And I am so sorry, for the life of me, I cannot figure out where it is and remember the name of it. However, it was some of the best Lebanese food I had ever had. And we sat down and we said to the server, we were looking at the menu, we're trying to figure it out, and the server said, how about this? How about for one price per person, I'm just going to give you guys true Lebanese food. And we're like, yeah. And it even comes with Lebanese wine, and we're like, even better. So that's what we did. And so that inspired me so much that's why today we are going to make 2 very classic Lebanese dishes. It's summertime, and we were supposed to be outside doing this on the grill, but again, the thunderstorm. So we're going to do this whole thing inside. But today we're going to make some koftas, and we're going to use that with some meat, koftas, and then we're also going to make a salad, and that salad is called a fatoush, and a fatoush is the fa, and it is the bread. And so we've got right here some pita bread, and really what you're supposed to do with this pita bread is you can fry it. A lot of times they fry it. We were going to grill it outside, but of course, we had the weather. So what I'm going to do is we're going to brush this pita. Now, what I've done is, as you can see, I've cut it into some strips. And then, well, we could just put them in just like that. But you want to give it a little flavor. They're all into flavor. And so I've got some za'atar seasoning, which has become all the rage, but they've been using it in other countries in years. So we're going to sprinkle a little of that on there. All right, and then we're going to just put those in the hot pan, just like that. All right, great. So while that's going, we're going to make our meat for our kebabs that we're making today. All right. So I have here about equal portions, it's about 1.25 pounds each actually that it came out to, of both ground beef and ground lamb. You can now traditionally they were done with beef, but lamb is also good, and then a lot of people like the lamb and the beef together. So of course I love lamb, and so does my family. So that's what we're doing. So we're going to take this, and then we're going to start adding our flavor to it. So there's a few key things that have to go into it. One is parsley. So we're going to throw this nice minced parsley in there. All right. Meanwhile, let me just grab my tongs. Just make sure we don't. We'll give our bread another brush on both sides. Just like that. And then before I touch the ground beef with this finger, well. All right, great. So then we're just going to check it. It's looking nice already. Beautiful. Look at that. Looks great. So that's all you're looking for, and then we're going to take those off, and when we build our salad, that's what we're going to do. All right, so we have our parsley in here, and that's at least about a cup of parsley I put in. I'm also going to throw in some garlic, and this is like 3 cloves of garlic I'm adding in here. So garlic is always a key ingredient you want. Then we're going to throw in some onions. Diced onions is very much a part of this the special meat mix that we're making. And then we have some fresh mint. And I'm using a decent handful of mint. Now I'm going to chop this mint up for a second, because I have other mint we're going to use for our salad. Mint, they love to use lots of fresh herbs and mint and spices, and I'll never forget when we were traveling, we were walking through, we would, at night especially, all the hookah bars along the streets, and I always wanted to go and hang out with those guys, but couldn't get anybody in my house to let me do that. So that never happened. All right, I'm going to take these off because these look great. We're going to let those cool for a couple of minutes. Turn that off in the meantime. All right. Now, back to this. So we've got our onions, we have our parsley, we have some chopped mint in there. Now we're going to add, now this is very much a key ingredient to Lebanese cooking, and it's sumac. And sumac is one of those really old, ancient spices that has been around for a very long time. And we may not use it a lot here in America, but especially in the Middle East, they use a lot of sumac. Sumac, I wish you could smell it, but it has almost like a lemony, peppery flavor to it. Yes, I'm sure some of you are going, it's not the same sumac. No, it's not the same sumac. It is a cousin, but it is not the poison sumac. It is the good eating sumac. So this stuff comes from a different part of the world that we don't normally have this kind of sumac here in America. So we got that in there. We have, we're going to throw some, I'm going to throw some cardamom in there. They love these type of wonderful different smells. We're going to throw a little salt in it and a little fresh pepper. Okay. And then what we're going to do now is we're going to mix this all up really well. Okay. Going to mix it up nice. Make sure you get all that stuff we just add in there. You want it to be really mixed in there nice and well. To loosen it up a little bit, I'm going to actually throw in a little bit of the olive oil. That also gives it some nice flavor. They love to work with olive oil in their cooking. The other thing I'm going to add in, I think I have some extra lemon we can add into it. Again, it's all about the flavors. You want layers of flavor when you do this. All right. Let me just grab a little lemon. Grab a little lemon. Okay. Squeeze a little lemon in there. Pull out those pits that just fell in. Okay. All right, great. Now, we have our sticks that we have had done, and we're going to, I'm just going to use it at this point, but we're going to, I'll wash my hands, but we're going to literally just form our kebabs, and again, or kaftas. Kafta is really truly the Lebanese way of calling these. And so what we're doing is we're putting them just like that. All right. And then we're going to just literally, I'm going to throw a little more olive oil in the pan. Actually, we'll just put it straight in. There we go. Great. That fits perfect. Grab another one. Okay. And again, you can make these as big as you want or as small as you want. I'm doing them about that size, and the reason is that we're going to serve these on top of our salad. So, perfect. All right. So, let me give my hands a quick wash. So, I really love London. I love all parts of London. I've been there now a few times, and it's a wonderful city. Has such great culture, such great food. Everybody thinks, again, I started with the joke with fish and chips because everybody always thinks of fish and chips, but there's so many wonderful. And a lot of people think, oh, and they have great Indian food. They have wonderful Indian food. But they also have all kinds of these neighborhoods and communities throughout London where you can find all these wonderful dishes. And it's great. So we're going to cook those. So while we're waiting for those, I think we're going to start working on our salad. So this salad is very traditional type of salad that they kind of do in other countries, or excuse me, and especially in Lebanon. And what it is it started off as leftovers. How did we come up with some kind of cool salad that with leftovers? Now, they go through a lot of pita bread in the Middle East and in Lebanon, and the pita bread gets left over. And so they like their pita bread fresh. And so every day they get it fresh, and there's always leftover pita bread. So what they've done is they've taken the pita bread and they created a salad around the pita bread. So it's great. So today you can use any kind of lettuce that you like. We're using a spring mix. It's just nice and light and airy. And again, it's been super humid and hot here. So we've been trying to eat light and fresh. So we're going to use some of our spring mix. So what I'm going to do is we're going to take some of our spring mix and we're going to put it in a bowl. And I like to always dress my salads. So what that means is this means putting the dressing onto the elements of your salad when you build it. So when you eat the salad, or anybody that you're giving it to eats the salad, they get that dressing, that flavor with it. So the traditional dressing for this type of salad is a pomegranate vinaigrette. And I was going to actually make for you guys a pomegranate vinaigrette today. And you need pomegranate molasses. And I couldn't find any pomegranate molasses. And then I was going to buy, was going to buy a bottle of pomegranate juice, and I was going to reduce it down and do it myself. And guess what? I'm like, wait, I found a vinaigrette, because guess what? You guys wouldn't do that. You wouldn't be trying to make your own, boiling down your pomegranate juice. So I found a pomegranate vinaigrette. So we're perfect. So, because this is what you would do at home. So this is what I do at home too. So this is what we're going to do. So we're going to take this off, and if I can get this off, wow. All right, there we go. Beautiful. Oh, of course, now there's an extra lid on top of that. Beautiful. All right, there we go. So we got our pomegranate vinaigrette. So what I'm going to do is we're going to put a little vinaigrette on our salad. And then we're going to grab another set of tongs. And we're going to just give it a nice toss, right? Okay. And then this is the plate that we're going to plate everything on. So we're going to toss this in our vinaigrette. Make sure it's nice and tossed nicely. And then we're going to start plating our food. So here's our plating of our lettuce. Go with me on this. It's going to work. It's all going to look great in the end. I promise. Alright, so we have our lettuce. Now, we're going to add some tomatoes to that. Okay. Tomatoes. And we're going to add a little more of our vinaigrette. You want to just keep everything nice and tossed. And boy, I wish you guys could smell these pastas. Our fatoush is going to be awesome. Our pastas are smelling delish. All right, so now we've got our tomatoes. We're adding our tomatoes to this. Okay. Can you get in there, Jake? Can you see that? All right. Then we're going to do some cucumbers. We got some fresh cucumbers. And I'm using just some standard English cucumbers. I like to use English cucumbers. They have less seeds. Most people, you can tend to eat the skin on. You don't have to peel them. So they give it some nice color. So there we go. Now we have our cucumbers. And then we're going to put on, oh, you know what? We're going to throw some radishes on. And I mean some onions first. We're going to throw some red onions on. Okay. Little red onions. Still got some vinaigrette on that. Alright. Nice red onions. Fantastic. And now we got some radishes. They love radishes. Radishes is one of those ingredients that you definitely want to put on your fatoush, because all right. One second. Let's flip these over again. Oh, those are looking beautiful. Okay. All right. And then we're going to throw some radishes on here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Those nice on there. Great. And then we are going to we're going to squeeze a little lemon, just for the sake. Okay, so now we have this. Now we're going to add our our bread to this. Okay, some bread. All right, and then we're going to add our kofta to it. And then we are going to top it with a little fresh mint. All right. And there you have a beautiful Lebanese salad. Can you get in there, Jake, and show them that? And we got our, look at that, so we have our kofta and our Fatoush salad. And we are going to be eating good here in our house tonight. So, next week, we're going to be traveling somewhere else again. You'll just have to stay tuned and find out. But I will see you next week, so stay healthy, stay happy, and stay safe. And I'll see you next week on Sunday Dinner with Chef Joe.